Hey, what's up guys? This is Anthony from Anthony's Customs, and for this review, we are looking at Michelangelo. We're going to finish off the team, the brothers, even though the figures are mostly the same. They do have different details we found out in Raphael's review, so that's awesome. Completely unique sculpts from turtle to turtle. That's great. That doesn't ever happen. Not really. For the Ninja Turtles, it's usually just a license to reuse bodies, and these are all unique, so that's great. And they do have unique accessories, so we're going to go through the review. It'd probably be a little bit quicker than the other ones, and probably Donatello being number 4 will be the quickest, but we're going to get through them all because I want them on the channel, and I want you guys to see them. Because I think this is maybe one of the best lines of figures, value per dollar, that we've seen in a long time. I mean, it's not competing with Storm Arena, probably, or... maybe, I don't know about Jada, because Storm Arena is better than Jada. Anyway, I don't know. It's a really good line of figures. So let's go ahead and get them off the stand and take a closer look. Alright, before we look at the figure, let's take a look at my package. And it's a good package. Goes with all the other ones. It does have the strange motif of the old cartoon. And I guess this is the logo from one of the later, like 2012 maybe, or something like that. I don't know, but there's a photo of the figure. Maybe it's a render, but it looks like a photo, honestly. Who knows? Yeah, there you go. There you go. And there you go. Good packaging. Nothing crazy, but it definitely holds the figure if that's what you're looking for. And if you're looking for displayability, it's probably not the greatest, but it will do. Where's my ruler? What the heck? Lost my ruler. The thing I use for every video. Here we go. Alright, he stands about 6.5 to the top of the head. That's going to make him just about 16.5 centimeters, give or take. Here he is up against Darwin, and he will be up against his brothers at the end in the photos. And if you haven't noticed, I've been adding a turtle to the photo each review, because I haven't opened the other ones until I review them. So this one will have 3, and then the next one will have all 4. Alright, so, like I mentioned before, completely new sculpt. He does not share any sculpted details with the other ones. That's very cool, and he looks great. Honestly, I said Raphael was my favorite after looking at Leonardo in terms of the figures, and now I think Michelangelo might be my favorite. And I'm guessing when I do Donatello, that'll be my favorite. Whichever one I'm holding is the best one. Although, honestly, I do think Leonardo is probably the weakest out of the bunch, just given like the proportions and coloring. I think he's maybe a little bit less good. But these are great, guys. I keep seeing people comment on the price, and it's like, yeah, they're a little bit expensive. It depends where you go, but let's say 120 bucks, roughly. That's cheap compared to what else you can get for the price. Mafex figures run more than that regularly. Same thing with Revoltech, same thing with plenty of imports. And these guys are large figures. Completely new sculpt. Each one gets a new sculpt, which doesn't earn them any points against other figures, but they didn't have to be. And tons of really good accessories, tons of good paint. I think they're a great value, honestly. I mean, yes, they are expensive, so if you don't want to spend 120 bucks, then you're just out, and that's fair enough. But if you're doing it by value, I think these guys hold up against basically any other line. We'll get into the articulation, but that's really the only downfall. Sure, some of them are a little bit shinier than I'd like the shell's pretty shiny here, but the skin's pretty decent on this guy, and the back of the shell's fine. So, yeah, they're not perfect, but for the price, I think you're getting one heck of a figure. So getting into the aesthetic a little bit more, the paints are beautiful on these figures. There's so much shading going on and washing and whatnot that they really just come to life. These are easily my favorite Ninja Turtle action figures in my collection. I sold off a bunch of my previous ones just because, you know, I'm not that into the Turtles. And most of the figures haven't been great. I'm definitely keeping my NECA movie ones. And then these guys. I don't know if I'm going to end up with any other ones. I think I'm going to lose all the cartoon stuff too, even though I grew up on it. But yeah, this guy, just gorgeous. All the details, all the everything. The sculpt, the paint, the proportioning. Beautiful. This is exactly what I would do for Ninja Turtles if I was coming up with a new, more realistic looking version, if you want to call it realistic. This is what the movie, the Michael Bay movies should have looked like, not those weird things. This is great. Alright, so yeah, aesthetically speaking, 9.5 out of 10. Could be a little bit less shiny here and there, but damn good otherwise. Alright, on to the accessories. We still have basically the same assortment of hands. As far as heads go, he has a nice assortment. I changed words up there, whichever one you want to use. The neutral head, the smiling head, and then the laughing head. Very, very nicely done. Again, I think Leonardo got shafted. All the other ones have had really good head sculpts, and Leo, I think, got the least good bunch. Okay, then we have the 3 bandanas as per usual. We have his nunchucks, or nunchaku, or whatever other word you want to use for them. They have all kinds of different names. We have the two normal ones, then we have the two flaming ones. The flames look great, though the flames look like they're coming off like a torch, kind of, rather than actually being swung around, so that's a little bit less great, but you can make do with it, and they still look nice, so that's okay. You get all the same other accessories, like the pizzas and things, as the other guys, so that's like the standard batch. Same thing for the clothing, but then you get his more unique accessory, which is his skateboard. And I want to take a minute just to look at this, because for an accessory, they put a heck of a lot of detail into this, a lot of effort. There is a foot peg on there, but the paint job is nice. The simplest part would be just the main part, where it's just like pink with a little bit of a black wash. Same thing for the turtle thing there, but there's a lot of detail work. We have the wrap going on in the front, presumably where you might hold on to it with your hand. We have the bluing. It looks like a titanium exhaust back there, so that's nice. That looks pretty cool. These canisters, which aren't really connected to anything, so you know, it's not perfect. These tubes, which don't quite go into anywhere, but kind of to down here. But either way, like, it's not functional. It's not really gonna ignite. But the wheels spin, and there's a wash. It's just really, oops, oh, lost focus. It's a really, really nice accessory. It looks great. That's fine. It's a big one too. Like I said, you get a lot for your money with these figures. So I'll go 9.5 out of 10 for accessories again. I wish they didn't put in the clothing. Could have used some kind of display stand, I think. Just like make a removable panel on the shell for the thing to peg into, so we can do some jumping poses or something. But yeah, really, really good spread of accessories. And now we can test the articulation on this guy, even though it's going to be essentially the same as the others. Like I said, these reviews will probably get shorter and shorter. The shell is the same. It has that hinge that moves around but doesn't really do much, and if you leave it on the body, you can't really do the shifting, so you're just going to get to move it around a little bit. Rotation is questionable because of the peg they used. It doesn't like to stay in place, but you don't probably want to do that too much anyway. Alright, for the head and neck, you have your double ball pegs everywhere. The shell does get in the way, of course. You can pull it down some. But yeah, you're going to get plenty of range. His neck doesn't move as much as I would like it to, but you could probably get that to free up. But yeah, they move around just fine. Still, I'm going to mention it every time, be careful with the bandanas. They're just PVC, so pulling them out or twisting them could tear the little peg. So you have to either heat it up every time you do it, or you can carefully drill out the hole just a little bit. That's a permanent thing, so maybe not, but that's up to you. Or then the other option, somebody commented it, I don't like doing this, but I'll explain it anyway. You can put some oil, some silicone oil on the peg or in the hole, just a little bit, to just free it up some, which is fine, but on removable parts you end up with oil on your hands and on the figure, so you probably don't want to do that, but you have some options, so just be careful with the bandanas and you'll be okay. The shoulders do have that joint that I couldn't get to move on Leonardo. They moved on Raph a little bit, but I can't get really anything going on. But you do get the ball peg in there, and then the shoulder itself works just fine on its own. Man, I love the way these turtles look. Yeah, full rotation. I didn't have any loose joint issues, really. I think Leo's hips maybe weren't perfect, but still not a problem. And I might even be remembering wrong. But yeah, the joints all feel really nice. He's definitely a little shiny in some places. Yeah. You know, a lot of people post these things like, oh, I sprayed matte finish, like Mr. Hobby Matte or whatever. They just spray it on figures. And that's fine. Matte finish is great. But if you're just spraying it on the joints or things that rub, you're just going to scratch the crap out of that. So do that mindfully, or your figure's going to end up looking worse. Because matte finish with a bunch of scratches in it isn't going to look better than a gloss coat. So, or not gloss coat, but whatever this is. So maybe be a little bit careful if you're going to do that. Maybe brush it on into certain places. I don't know. Be careful. Or really treat all the joints like you're doing a custom, but that's a lot of work, so you know. Alright, yeah, the arms work nicely. Torso is still the same. It's kind of hard to get at inside the shell, but it does pose. I mean, as much as a Ninja Turtle can comfortably pose without being really cut up, I think these are fine. Side to side is fine. You do get rotation. Leaning forward is there. Leaning back is there, but hard to do because of the shell. But it is in there. It does work. So, yeah, you know, the people that are complaining about the range of motion on these figures, I think it's unreasonable given that they are Ninja Turtles. The only thing that I will agree with is this should have more hard plastic removed from behind it, and this should be flexible or adjusted in some way such that it offers more range, because going out to the side is fine. No problems there. But going forward is very limited. So that sucks. You know, it's definitely not great. But obviously, you can still pose them. Like, he's not going to be able to do as much as you want, but you can still pose them. And maybe this is fine, because, like, the idea of making this flexible, yeah, that helps for posability, but then you have a big curved, bent-up shell bottom. So it's like, yeah, I don't know that there's a better option necessarily. I would not rather have drop-downs, personally, because that relocates the hip in a place that doesn't make sense, and they're a pain in the ass. So I think this might be your best option. I don't know that there's a much better way to do this, honestly. So yeah, there's that. Thigh swivels work nicely. Double jointed knees, they are kind of goofy looking. They're not the worst thing we've ever seen, but they are definitely weirdly mechanical. They do fill in the silhouette, though, and I think that's what they were going for. So, like, you don't notice it as much because they don't actually stick out weird. They just fill in the silhouette, but they do look mechanical if you're looking for it. So be aware of that. And then the ankles, you want to get it over that, but they have really good range going back and going forward. Not the best. Not the best range, unfortunately, for the ankle. No cut, so no ball hinge functionality. It's just a standard, like, Marvel Legends style ankle. They're nice, but they are like that. And it's a very steep ankle rocker, so that does limit posability to some degree. And you do get a really, really nice toe hinge with a little bit of ratcheting in there. It's well placed, well sculpted. That's exactly how you want to do it. And they can go down, too, if you want to do some Muay Thai. So, pretty good articulation, especially for a Ninja Turtle. I think that is more than acceptable. And, oh, hey, this one wants to move a little bit more. Yeah, there you go. So that's how it's supposed to function. The other one was just a little stuck. So yeah, not bad. Not bad at all. I think not perfect, of course, but perfectly reasonable at the price point, given all the accessories, the paint, the sculpt, everything else. Honestly, there's not a whole lot more they could do to make me happier with this batch of figures. I'm very pleased with these personally and as a reviewer. So I'll give the articulation it's a 7 out of 10. It's perfectly adequate. And now it's time for the final rating. I don't know if I ended up making this video shorter, but I tried. Hey, it's fun to talk about good figures once in a while, right? So yeah, I'm gonna say 9.5 out of 10 overall. I don't know what I've been rating the other ones, but they're all the same and equally good. And whichever rating is the highest, go with that one across the board so far. Maybe I've only said 9, but I'm guessing I didn't. I'm filming these sometime, like, I think Leo was a week ago. So, anyway, very, very good line of figures. If you're at all into Ninja Turtles and like the way these look, obviously it's a stylistic choice. Some turtles are like triangles, the original ones, and some of them look like superheroes, some of them don't, you know, whatever choice you prefer. But if you're okay with the way these look, best turtle figures on the market so far. I know the Joy Toy ones are good, but they can't be as good as these given the size and price point. I'm sure they're great for the price, by the way. I don't own any, but they look awesome. So I'm not knocking them. I'm just saying these have to have more going on based on what I've seen, but maybe not. I'll get those if I can ever find a reissue or something like that. But for now, these are, for me, the go-to Ninja Turtles. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below, and I'll be done there. So thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please do give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down. And if you haven't subscribed, you should. I have new videos just about every single day, and thousands already on the channel. So make sure you come back for all of that. And in the meantime, keep collecting.